If you are low elo, new to the game, or even just new to Warwick, then this video is going to be for you. So I'm Parnellyx. I've been a challenger player for the last 5 seasons, which means that I've been top 300 on the ladder for most of the time in the past five seasons, past 5 years. I've been playing this game for a long time. I used to be low elo. I used to be like actually basically iron level at the game a long time ago, and I have just learned to I basically just slaved my life away to this game, but I've gotten good at it, and this is going to be my Warwick beginner guide series. The concept of this video series is going to be to show you guys how to play Warwick at a low level, but I'm going to try to focus on fundamentals that can help you, that can really help apply to you guys and help you guys learn simple fundamentals that aren't going to require, like, you know, a challenger brain. So this means I'm not going to do any like crazy mechanics. I'm not going to go for any wild outplays. I'm not going to do any limit tests of any sort. I'm just going to, you know, try to play the game on a very simple level and explain a few fundamentals in the jungle so that can apply to you guys to help you win games, but also most importantly just get better. I think that's the key thing here, is to try to focus on getting better. So I think for starters here, let's talk about jungle routes. So jungle routes in the jungle, I think it's always good if you are like the low plat to just roll with the same jungle route basically every game. I think for Warwick, the best jungle route, or the most like satisfying and consistent one, is going to be blue start into Gromp, into Wolves, into red buff. So as you can see, I was actually late because I was kind of like talking and not really focused, but generally speaking, that's where we're going to go. Not really a big deal. So we're going to go ahead and do these camps. And we're going to kite these camps as well in between our auto attacks. Key thing to note when you are kiting camps on Warwick, when the camps get below half health, that is when you want to stop kiting them and just auto attack them, because you have so much attack speed from your W. But kiting camps can help you get from camp to fake camp faster, which improves your clear speed so that you can actually, you know, level up faster and make plays faster. We're going to go ahead and do this red buff. As we can see, this was warded. That's okay. Really key thing I want to kind of hammer home for you guys early on is going to be to look at the map a lot. Very important, just for like any type of player. It can be really annoying. It's actually an annoying habit to learn at first, for sure. So look at the map a lot. But it really is not that hard. It doesn't take that long to get into the habit of doing it. You just got to be willing to deal with the annoyance at first, the growing pains, and it can really have a huge effect on your gameplay, especially if you are a jungler, which of course Warwick is, assuming you want to play in the jungle. We're going to go over here, take the Scuttle Crab. We're going to use our E to break the shield. We're going to just place a ward in this bush. I'm not going to talk too much about warding in this video. I probably will in future videos, but we're going to go ahead and just keep it simple. Just ward where it feels right, or where, you know, you feel like you can pay attention and get value out of it. We're going to smite this Krug. So a little bit of a unique thing on Warwick, because Warwick gets bonus attack speed against targets that are low in health. You want to a lot of times smite camps early so that you can get that attack speed bonus a lot sooner. So if you are doing Krugs, Gromp, blue buff, or red buff, those are the camps that I use smite on. Use it on the big monster and just save it for those camps. The other camps don't have a ton of health, so it's not really like a big deal. Okay, go ahead and reset. So as you noticed, by the way, I did just start the red smite jungle item, and I didn't take any health potions. The reason being is that Warwick doesn't really need health potions. Warwick does not need health potions in the jungle, because Warwick is, you know, he has so much just built-in sustain that he doesn't get much value in it. There is a strategy that I run in higher elo where I do start 1 HP pot, and I use it in a very specific way, being like I pop it when I'm fighting someone for the extra healing. But that's not something you want to, you necessarily need to do. And it's just something special that I do, so I'm not going to showcase it in this video. So we're going to recall after we've cleared all our camps, go back and farm our camps a little bit more. Warwick's ganking is kind of an like weird, I guess. He is a strong ganker if enemies are below half health or crazy overextended. So those are the two things you're looking for when looking for ganks. You're going to look for, when our enemies really low in health, like this Akali right here, or are they extremely overextended? Now, even though this Akali is very, very low, she is under the turrets. She has her W. I don't know if she used flash or not. So that means that ganking her is going to show some risk. And I don't want to go for risky plays. I'm not going to lie. If I was playing in higher level, I'd probably go for the risky play. Because I just like to. And it's fun for me. But again, I don't want to showcase anything like too crazy. I want to just play, you know, the game pretty simply. And play the game pretty consistently, I think is really a key component here. We can see right here, these people are low on health. And we can actually come down here and kill these guys. Nice. Really good job. We're going to go ahead and attack a couple of these minions. We're going to just last a few of them, but we're not going to kill all of them. And we're going to go back to our Krug camps here. We gotta be careful to protect our Lucian though. He's low. Nocturne's obviously going to be like looking at him and just thinking maybe I can get the kill. It looks like he'll be safe. So yeah, as far as runes, I should talk about runes here real quick. The runes, we're gonna go with the same runes. If you guys are following this video and you are trying to learn, just go with these runes every game on Warwick. If you really want to, you could swap out Press the Attack for Lethal Tempo. That is going to give you a lot more DPS. I think PTA, Press the Attack, is going to be more consistent. It'll give you a little bit more upfront burst, which is better for ganks. But there's nothing wrong with Lethal Tempo if you want more damage per second. So as I mentioned, we're going to focus on consistency throughout these videos. And for this first video, we're just going to lay out the outline for the build. I think the best build, or I guess like a relatively simple build. I don't know if it's necessarily the best. I think that's the key thing I want to really hammer down. Like climbing and like silver or gold does not come down to what is the best build, what are the best runes. Just stick to runes, like the same build, the same runes that you're comfortable with, and focus on improving the gameplay. That is the most important part. Now, of course, you want to make sure your runes and builds aren't like completely troll. Consistency is very, very key. Let's go over here and kill this Amumu right there. He tried to execute to the turret. That's why it looks kind of weird. And we're just going to again go to our jungle camps right here, and we're just going to like notice that there's a pattern. There's a pattern. We clear our camps. We recall. We're ganking if enemies are kind of like along, you know, or overextended or gankable or in a kill range while I'm clearing, then I will go for them. But we're trying to keep a consistent pattern here. You're going to, of course, have to learn how to break the pattern at some points, you know, when you are playing League of Legends, of course. Adaptability is huge for this game. But having a solid outline to start with is very, very important. That way, when nothing is going on, when nothing crazy is going on in the game, you have a game plan. That way you always have a plan to just kind of rely on. So our focus here is basically we're gonna grab kills if we can. We're gonna grab objectives when we can. I actually probably could have grabbed this dragon earlier. I think that's something we'll talk about maybe in future videos, is early dragons, because they are very, very strong. Oh, nice. Nice. I can't believe that worked. But yeah, getting early dragons for Warwick is actually very, very strong in lower levels of play. Very, very consistent, especially considering in like low elo, games tend to last a little bit longer, which means that the soul is more likely to be taken. But you also got to consider, it's not just that, it's the fact that enemies feel pressured when you start taking dragons from them, and they feel more enticed to fight or to force plays. Even when it's just kind of unreasonable and unnecessary. So taking objectives is very, very strong. But yeah, our focus is we're going to take objectives when we can. We're going to take kills when we can. But if there's nothing else to do, we're going to just farm. And we're going to keep this relatively consistent, you know, pattern. Luckily, Nocturne hasn't done any counter jungling. But if he takes some camps, it's not the end of the world. It just means we're going to have to adapt if he does take some camps from us. And I think in future videos, you'll probably see more of that. Kind of thinking about going for this Kaisa. I want to see if she overextends. So okay, so they're gonna try to push in the wave, and if she overextends, I'm gonna go for her. If she backs off, then I'll just take the wave. So she's overextending. My ult's coming up. It's not gonna be up yet, but I'm just gonna run at her. Of course, Blitzcrank's gonna kite me, peel me off. Rip. So we're just gonna chase. Gonna fear the Blitzcrank back. We're gonna use the ult for the gap close. We don't need to land it there. And we're just gonna chunk the Blitzcrank a little bit. Soften up the wave. Actually, let's just go ahead and just... There we go. It's fine. And let's reset. So do note, we are, for our ability skill order, we're going W max. So we started Q, we went W second, E third, and then we're doing W max, and we're doing E max next. And for boots, we're gonna go Merc Treads. I'll give you guys a choice. You guys can definitely make the choice of plated steel caps versus Mercury Treads. Things to keep in mind when you are making that choice. How much hard CC do they have? And how many auto attack based champions do they have? They have 2 auto attack based champions, and they have Blitzcrank has some CC, although he doesn't really work with Merc Treads. Nocturne has his Fear, which is big, and Amumu has a lot of CC. I think Merc Treads are fine here by default. Neither boots really stand out a crazy amount, but they're both pretty okay. We're just gonna go ahead and go with Mercury Treads, and we see that a fight is breaking out. And they're tower diving, which means that they're gonna take a lot of damage. So let's go ahead and try to cut them off. I'm gonna red smite. Nice. Let's go ahead and attack this. And let's go kill this Amumu. This man is overextended, and we got our blood trail. We're gonna use our E. Just pop the fear. And because Garen is still dead and they have no one up here, we're going to go ahead and push in this entire wave. Sometimes in lower elo, you'll actually get people that get mad when you do this, but it's just optimal because Garen's not here to take the farm. He's going to be able to collect the next wave that comes, and they're just missing out on the farm. So it's just a net positive for the team. You're getting gold and no one else is. If you just don't push in the wave, what ends up happening is, and plus we can get turret damage too. We're going to actually get the plate here, back out, go to our blue buff. So yeah, like, if like Garen was pinging us back and mad, it would be unreasonable because then it's like no one's getting any bonus gold. And you can see when he just came here and the wave is already here. So he already had a wave. Let's take this. And actually we see all these minions mid lane. Very, very important thing in the jungle. If you see a lot of minions crashing and like your laner died or is roaming, it's always good to just take the wave. That is worth more than a single jungle camp. So go out of your way to grab it. Don't go too far out of your way, right? Like, don't go from bot to top. But if you are close by, try to grab the lane minions if your teammates can't grab it. And I'd say only go out of your way if it's like 5 or more minions. So she died. Go into our camp. So notice we did break our formula though of our clear. And that's just because we ran through mid. We're not going to go back. We're just going to go for our Drugs. Because we did cover mid, it's okay. I'm gonna look at this chick. I'm gonna just spam Q. I can see the blood trail here. Auto attack. And I'm going to look to up. Let's not greed. There's no need to greed. We're gonna play a consistent play style, focused on not throwing and not dying. So the key thing to note, what does a challenger player see in silver? Because we're playing in silver 1, by the way, in case anyone's wondering. What does a challenger player see in silver? Like, how would a challenger player carry this game? I would actually have more kills if I was going full try hard. And that's just because there's, like, in this elo, there's so many kill opportunities. Lanes are overextending constantly. They're fighting constantly. They don't pay attention to the enemy jungler. They don't respect the enemy jungler. So that means that you're able to get a lot of kills. And as you can see, I'm doing nothing crazy, and I'm still able to get a lot of free kills. So there's no need to play, like, really greedy. There's no need to greed. There's no need to force. Because the kills are just going to come. I'm going to go ahead and just ult this guy. Again, we're going to push in the wave. Again, let's not greed. We see Akali's rotating. Let's go grab this blue, actually. So they're dead. Well, Blitzcrank's dead, and Nocturne and Kaiser are low. This means that they can't really contest their camps. If they come to fight me, they die. So I have like about 20 seconds where I can just do whatever I want around here. So this is my opportunity to do some counter jungling. We're just gonna go ahead and just take this. We could maybe go for the wolves, but let's just not. Again, let's not play super greedy. And I got a lot of gold to spend. Although this Akali is very, very low, and I'm high on health, so I can try to Just gonna juke that. Let's do some more counter jungling actually while we're at it. Take that camp, and then let's just recall. We got a lot of gold to spend. I don't know if we can really make this work. Actually can, I think. The 3v3 you gotta keep in mind, so. Nice. Gonna just go all. Oh god. Oh, we got stunned still. Let's actually run at him. Right, let's go ahead and just ward. And then let's recall. We got a lot of gold to spend. We probably should have recalled actually a little bit. A little bit earlier. But I don't know. There's just been a lot of stuff that's happening. So got enough for my Sunfire. So we're going to go with Titanic Hydra. It's the build that you guys should probably roll with. You can go out any other build you want. The key thing here is just to stick to one build. I'm going to stick to this build early on in this video series. I think it'll be pretty consistent. I think it'll be consistent this elo. It scales well. So it'll be good when we get to team fighting. So we're going to go Sunfire, Aegis. This will give us a lot of tankiness as well as ramping DPS over time, which is really, really nice. And then we're going to go Death Stance. Death Stance is just, it gives you damage and it gives you some like damage. Like you take delayed, like your you take damage, but delayed. So it's kind of basically tankiness, kind of. Let's go ahead and just clear some camps. And we actually see our team is grouped up, but we're not going to look to group with our team right now. We're going to actually just ping them back. Try to make sure you do ping your teammates, you know, what you want to do. And we want to wait till our ultimate comes up, basically. Okay, but now a fight's happening, so let's come mid. We got our ult up. Walk out. Just got ulted. And we died. That's that. Definitely should have sidestepped the bush strength. Yeah. It's okay though. Happens. They get a lot of gold onto the Kaisa, but it is fine. It actually gives me the opportunity though to explain. For future fights, we do need to look at, okay, who is going to be their biggest threat? We're strong. Our champion is really can focus anyone we want. It's like we're not like a squishy champion, so that means we can either dive in the back line or we can hit the front line. We can really hit whoever we want. Kaisa is clearly, by far and away, the strongest person on the enemy team. So that means, ahead of time in these team fights, she is going to be our primary target. Our secondary target is probably going to be a Kali or Nocturne. So I'd say, like, you know, she's, you know, target number 1, these are target number 2. So if Kaisa dies or something like that, I'm going to start going for these guys. And the reason these guys are target number 2 is not just kills, but also because they're really the only leftover damage for the team. So now, again, we're going to go for the neutral objective. Go ahead and just focus it down. And we're going to just run away here. We need to stick with the team. Make sure we don't trickle in. That's a key thing. Don't overextend. Go. Okay. Fear. And we saw right there, we went for a second. That really showed, like, you know, the importance of picking your secondary targets beforehand. Because there we go. We're gonna use our E there, just make sure we take less damage from Amumu. And the turrets. Let's do some counter jungling. Not only was so Kaisa did die eventually, but she didn't die initially. But we didn't have the angle on her, so we couldn't realistically dive on top of her at that point. So we did have to just go ahead and settle with our secondary targets, which was fine. And obviously you can see it all worked out. Let's go back to farming camps here. They didn't even talk about these other runes, but just follow these other runes. Just gives you just conditioning, revitalize, gives you just really good tankiness and lifesteal. Triumph gives you a heal in fights. Legend Tenacity obviously is good. And then Last Stand synergizes very well with Warwick considering you're low on health a lot of the times. Let's go ahead and reset. We got enough for Death Stance and more. I think we're going to go ahead and just go Wits End. This will give us Magic Resist, which we're kind of lacking. as well as plenty of on-hit damage. At this stage of the game, though, there's no point in farming at this stage. Well, you want to farm if nothing's going on, but clearly our team's overextended, and we're trying to push our lead. So if your team is like pushed up like this, definitely just go ahead and all the way. Damn, actually died. My teammates just kind of died without me. That's the situation where I should have pinged my teammates back and told them to wait. So, of course, in silver, a lot of times, silver, gold, whatever, the elo, a lot of, you know, your teammates are just going to tunnel. They're not going to be looking. They're just going to see an enemy and they're going to try to fight. Our team was in a 3v5 and they kind of went in. So that's just going to happen. So by pinging your teammates off and typing, you know, wait for us, we'll kind of get them sometimes, not all the time. Sometimes they still go in and die. But it'll get them sometimes to be like, okay, you're right. Let's chill for a second. Yeah, we're at the stage of the game where we are ahead. We can just group and win fights. So we should just be looking to group and win fights when we can. So I'm not going to be trying to farm permanently, you know, the rest of the game. Like, I will farm if nothing's happening. But as we can see in this state, they're kind of threatening the Baron. They're trying to get vision around here. And my team is looking to fight. If my team's, you know, in a position where they could get caught at this stage of the game, I should be with them or pinging them back. And yeah, go this ward because Dragon or Baron's very important. So yeah, for example, right here, I was going to go back to my Gromp, but yeah, my mid laner is looking. Let's actually look for this dragon. So this dragon is obviously going to be a huge power soul. So we want to try to get the Scuttle Crab ahead of time. Usually try to get objectives 30 seconds ahead of time if you can. Or like set up vision and be prepared for the dragon 30 seconds ahead of time. So that includes getting the Scuttle Crab. We're going to try to... Let's go ahead and just counter jungle this Gromp. I'm going to attack this Gromp. I'm actually going to peel it back a little bit. That way if they do see me, they have to kind of walk to my team. Use W. Kill 6 exalting. It's looking for a play. A little bit forced early for sure, but it's fine. And we just need to stick with the team. And remember, my primary target is Kaisa. So I'm not just sticking with my team. I'm trying to make sure I'm not too far away from my team. But I'm also trying to look for this Kaisa. And I want to try to find the flank angle on her. I'm going to sit in this bush. And just kind of wait and see. And we can actually go ahead and just win the fight. We're going to focus on the fight. They're split up, so... Let's go for the Kaisa. Red Smiter. Nice. Let's go for the Nocturne. We got the dragon apparently. I wasn't even focusing that. I figured we were gonna... The idea there was... Oh, I could have gave Lucian the Penta. That's BM of me. The idea there though was going to be to win the fight before taking the dragon, because if we fought the dragon, Amumu would get like a 5-man ult, and that's not good. Whereas if we took the fight right away, they were split up. And that's why we won the fight so hard. But now we can just win. I didn't really talk too much about map movements, which I did want to talk about in this video, but we can talk about that in future videos as well. That's fine. Just trying to talk about whatever I can to help you guys out, and very simple concepts. And just try to learn it one step at a time. So let me know what you guys think of this video format. Let me know if it helps out. I'm going to try to post this a few more times and see how it goes. And if you guys like the videos, I'm just going to keep posting. So appreciate it. Have a good day. Let me know how you like it.